Hey guys, welcome to our channel. So today we are going to be talking about, like a Jax, we're going to be talking about Aveda Institute and the cosmetology program that they have to offer. So what we're going to be mentioning is the daily life and the schedule of what we do.
Sadly.
The pros and cons, tips, and our final thoughts about the Aveda program.
Stay tuned because it's a lot of tea.
So the daily life at Aveda, do you want to explain that?
Okay, yeah. So you wake up really early.
You have to be there by 9 a.m. So the Aveda program goes through 4 different phases. You have intro, foundations, concepts, and masters. And each of them are 8 weeks long, and you learn different things in each phases. We get an hour lunch. We're there till 8 p.m. also. So it's a very long day and it's very tiring. Just a heads up on that. So that's really just the daily life. I mean, I hope so. You're feeding it to him. And then, so next are some pros and cons. And the cons definitely outweigh the pros. But, so the first pro is they do have a good educational system, and they really do teach you what you need to know to be a successful hairstylist. And another pro is the educators, but that also goes along with the cons, and we'll tell you about that in a second.
Shout out to my girl Abby and Candace and Carly and Melissa.
We love you. The educators are really important. They become like your mentor, and they really
Like your
show you
sisters.
different ways of how to do stuff, and really it makes you figure out like the best way to go about doing a haircut or a hairstyle or a hair color. When you first get to start out, or even a master's, you get to practice on each other. You get to do manicures, pedicures, facials, waxing. I apologize, I'm very sick right now, so if I look like a dead cow, that's why. But another one of the last pros that we wrote down was when you're in the program, you get a 50% discount, which means you get 50% off all the products, all the services. And it's really nice because like you get like a facial for like $15 or whatever you want. For the cons,
There's a lot of cons.
there's a lot. The first one is the appointments and how they set it up and how they just give them to you back to back, and it's very unfair. So when they're processing or something, we're eating hella snacks out of the break room, which is not good. Again, for the cons are the educators. You're gonna have the good educators, and then you're gonna have the bad educators that don't really know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And the drama.
Oh my God. Jesus.
You're gonna be with several other girls
who think they're still in high school.
and they feed off of drama. And they're always gonna be like, oh, she doesn't do hair good, or
She's working at Supercuts when she graduates.
yeah. The best thing you can do is to just brush it off and be like, I'm here to get an education.
Like, find your own squad. Like, we have a squad within her class.
She's my support system, and I don't really talk to anybody else. Not saying I have a problem with everybody else.
It's just that everybody else is just, they're very likely to start drama, and I'm not going to start drama with her unless, I'll just tell it to her face if something was upsetting me or anything. But everybody else is like very like shady and very whatever. Like, for example, if you don't do the hair for them, or you can't take their gas, or you're busy, or you just, whatever the case may be, don't even give them a cigarette or just something, then they'll be, listen, these girls are like, what, 30, 40, and they're still acting like in high school. Like, dude, are you reliving?
Ages of all different kinds.
That's ridiculous.
And the biggest problem that I've had, and I'm sure a lot of people have had too, is their stealing problem. You can miss one day of school.
They have cameras.
But they're too lazy to check them.
Or they don't want to replace your items for free. And they want to keep their money.
So one day you'll just walk into school and be like, oh, my ceramic brush is missing. Or, oh, someone took my shears. And every day you just realize that your stuff's being missing.
Missing. Your stuff has gone missing.
Yeah, has gone missing.
And it's ridiculous. That's why we say name label.
I can't even explain how much money I had to pay out of pocket to replace the stuff that has been stolen, or the tools that Aveda gave us that have broke.
And they refuse to replace them, so you have to go out of your own way.
Yeah, like my blow dryer broke twice, so I had to get another one.
I've gone through 6 blow dryers.
So that's all the cons we can think about off the top of our head. I'm sure there's many more.
Oh, yeah.
Another big con is the guest. A lot of guests don't fully grasp the concept that we are a school and we are still learning, and they act like they're gonna get like a full-blown like beautiful service, even though
you could,
we could, but some students aren't as advanced.
That's one thing advice I can never give you guys. Since we're talking about tips next.
Yes.
Take absolute pride in your work. Don't half-ass a full head of foils because
you want to get done and go to lunch because that's your
or like
name.
Get out of here, or I'm gonna leave. Well, thing is, you can sign a form saying you worked over the 8 o'clock mark. I do that sometimes. I've done that sometimes where I'm like, okay, I've worked at this, I overworked at this time, I left at this time, and I just won't clock out. I'm like, I left at 9 o'clock. You could check the cameras, but honestly, just take pride in your work. Be prideful, because at the end of the day, that's your name walking around. They will tell everybody, I went to this person at this in Aveda Institute of South Florida, and they're like, you're not gonna get anybody. Like, I have a bunch of people who come back to me for like color, believe it or not. Not much haircuts, which is kind of crazy because I love doing haircuts. She likes doing color, but I don't know. What's your tips that you like?
So the tips that we wrote down was, don't miss the scheduled days that you're supposed to be there, because when you're close to graduating like us and we realize we have 20 days missed and we have to make it up before a certain time before we have to pay for them, it's really scary.
They scare you. They tell you in the beginning that you're not allowed to deny guests, this and that. You can deny however the hell you want. It's in your contract. If you don't feel comfortable doing a guest, or a guest is being inappropriate towards you in any kind of manner, you're allowed to, deny them. You can do whatever the hell you want. And another thing is that all these, even though if a guest is rude to you, they might still make you take it, but you can still deny it at the end of the day. And, that's on you. This is your education. They can't force you to do anything because you're paying their bills. You're putting food on their table, so they can't say anything to you, to be honest.
Yeah. So just don't miss, because it's going to be a pain in the ass.
What I'm doing right now, I have 23 days missing.
So that's
the tea.
Yeah. Another one is get on the retail's good side, because they'll give you appointments that you want to do, and they won't schedule you an appointment that you don't have to do. They give it to someone else that gives them attitude. So just get on their good side. It's just best for your time being there. Another big thing is label your tools and your equipment, because if someone does steal it and you see someone with the same one, you could be like, that's mine and it has my name on it. So, and a lot of people don't feel tempted to take your stuff if you have your name on it.
Exactly.
So, and then another one is don't let people borrow your stuff, because they'll forget to give it back to you, and next thing you know, they said, oh, I put it back on your
stand or
your station, and I'll be like, well, no, you didn't, because it's not there, and you just end up losing it when really it's in their bag. So don't let people borrow your stuff. And then another good tip is, when you first start at Aveda, create a hair page, or make your main page a hair page, and start getting followers and start posting your work so salons in the area can see you, and it helps you with your clientele.
See, I created my own hair page. It's separate from, oh my goodness. It's separate from my main page.
I keep it on my main Instagram, but I just have a little storyboard where it says hair, and I just post all my before and afters on there.
Yeah.
So another good tip is get a spot in a salon as soon as possible, even if it's a receptionist or an assistant, so you can kind of get your head in the door. Last but not least is stay on top of your universal theory. Universal theory is what we do on our iPads and our book work, and to help you practice for your practicals. It's really important to stay on top of that, because if you're in masters and they're like, oh, you have 7 tests to do, and some of them are 100 questions, some of them are 10, but you just don't want to get caught up doing that when you can be doing something else in that time. So our final thoughts, what are your final thoughts about Aveda?
My final thoughts is, if you really want to be stressed out, you don't care about drama and about what people say, and you can handle the stress, you can go to Aveda. I did not know that. I'm very bad with stress, and I get stressed out really easily. I have anxiety and everything. So it's hard for me to go to Aveda. If I would have known, I wouldn't have went, to be honest. But I mean, I'm not going to be stuck on a beauty schools in America. It's all in the name. It's really all in the name, to be honest with you.
So my final thoughts would be, it is stressful, but Aveda is probably the best choice that you could do. We do have that name, and if someone from a normal beauty school and someone from Aveda applied at the same place, hands down, you'd get picked because you have that education to back you up. Every beauty school is gonna have those pros and cons, most likely, but you might as well just do it with the best beauty school.
Yeah, we're the best, to be honest with you, because whatchamacallit, you know, we're like the Harvard of hair schools.
Yeah.
Like, it's expensive. It's $20,000. If you guys have a deep pocket, then go for it.
Yeah.
So that's
and also, I was a student at the Aveda Orlando and South Florida.
Yeah, what are your thoughts about that?
If you plan on going to the South Florida campus, that's kind of mostly what we talked about. But as for Orlando, a lot of the same things apply. Educators, the stealing and the drama.
It's just like high school. To be really honest with you, it's just like high school. You gotta get over it, and when you graduate, you'll never see those people again, unless you're like me and her and you're best friends. But it's just, you know.
But yeah, just stay focused and just know what you want and do the damn thing. So if you apply at Aveda, we wish you the best of luck, and hopefully you have a better experience than we had.
Yeah, most definitely.
Okay, that's all for this video. See you next time.